Hello students, today we are going to see this topic while loop. So last class we have seen what is for loop. So for loop is a looping statement which consists of all the three test conditions, that is initialization statement, conditional statement and update statement in the first syntax itself, and it is also known as entry check loop. Okay, so it will check the condition while entering into the loop. So today we are going to see this while loop. So while loop is a control flow statement that allows the loop statement to be executed as long as the condition is true. The while loop is an entry control loop because it takes the tests the expression mm, is evaluated before the entry into the loop, before entering into the loop. And you can see that this is the syntax of uh, while loop. So here you can see that while is the keyword, and you can give the test condition. That means the test expression must be returning, or the result of this test expression must be true or false. And you can see that this is the body of the loop. Statement X. Statement X is the statement that will continue execution after the completion of while loop. Here you can see that this is the flowchart of while loop. First it checks the test expression. If the condition is true, it will go for the body of the loop. If the condition is false, then it will go to the expression or statement outside the body of the loop. Okay, and here they have given one example, so we'll see the example here. Into main, int I is equal to 1 and the sum is equal to 0, while I is less than or equal to 10. So here the test expression is I less than or equal to 10, and the body of the loop consists of two statements. One is sum is equal to sum plus I and I plus plus. Here you can see that I value is initialized to 1. Okay, so the initial value of I is 1. Now I is less than or equal to 10. So 1 is less than or equal to 10. Condition is true here. So condition is true here, and the body of the loop is executed. Sum is equal to sum plus 1. So sum is equal to 0. 0 plus 1 is 1, and the new value is stored in sum. So that value is 1. Now in the next expression you can see that I plus plus. So I plus plus means uh, increment statement. So it will increment the value by 1. I plus plus. Um, Next is this after execution of this statement, it will go back to the top of the loop. Again it checks the condition. Now the value of I will be 2 here. 2 is less than or equal to 10. Condition is true. Now you can see that it will do the same addition. Sum is equal to sum plus 2 here. So already 1 is there. 1 plus 2 is 3. So sum as gets the new value 3. Now again it gets the increment I is equal to I plus 1. Now the value 2 will become 3 here. So this loop again goes to the top to check the condition. This loop will keep on executing until it becomes 10. So 10 less than or equal to 10 condition is true, so 10th iteration will also happen, and I plus plus 11, it will become 11 here. I value becomes 11 here, so 11 is less than or equal to 10, condition is false, then it will come out of the loop and print the value of the sum. Okay, with that this program will get over. So this is what it, okay, it's given here. Now here you can see that sum plus, sorry, C++ program to sum number from 1 to 10 using while loop. Here you can see that I equal to 1 here, num and average and sum is equal to 0. So these are all the uh, these are all the different variables that are going to be used in the uh, program. So I num num and average is equal to sum, and while is I less than or equal to 5. So you can see that the loop is going to be executed for 5 times. Okay, and you can see that they are getting the input from the user. So C out enter the number and C in name. Now so the given the first statement inside the body of the loop will tell the user to enter some name number. Okay, so this is an intimation to the user. The user will enter some data and press enter key, so the number will be stored in num, and you can see that in the next statement sum is equal to sum plus num. Sum is already 0, so the user is entering 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so 1 will be added to the sum, and the value of sum will become 1 now. Now in the next statement I plus plus, it will increment the value, and then it will keep on doing until the value becomes 4 5. 5 will also be executed. 5 is less than or equal to 5, condition is true. Now since it is given as equal to, the condition will become true here, and the value of 5 will also be executed. Okay, and you can see that when the execution completed, I value will become 6 now. 6 is less than or equal to 5, condition is true, sorry, condition is false. Now the body of the loop will be exited, and the average will be calculated, and then the sum will be printed, and also the average value will be printed. So in the above program, integer variable num and average is declared, uh, are declared, and variable I is initialized to 1 and sum is equal to 0. The while loop checks the condition. Since I is less than or equal to 5, the condition is true. Mm. Uh, a number is read from the user, and this is added to the sum, and I is initialized by 1. I is initialized by 1. Now the condition is I less than or equal to 5. Again checked. Since 2 is less than or equal to 5, the second number is obtained from the user, and it is added to the sum. This continues until it becomes 6. I becomes 6. Uh, at which point the while loop terminates. After the loop terminates, the average is calculated, and both sum and average are displayed. So next is while loop variations. So you can create different variations of while loop. So we are going to see the different variations of while loop. So a while loop may contain several variations. It can be an empty loop or an infinite loop. An empty loop, an empty while loop does not have any statement inside the body of the loop except null statement, just a semicolon. For example, int main and int I is equal to 0, and you can see that while plus plus I greater than less than 1000, and you can see that it doesn't have any body of the loop. The next statement uh, of the loop is empty. Okay, so so it will run up to it will run it will run up to 1000 times since plus plus I is given at the condition. So the last value will be considered, and it will it will keep on executing until the value of I has become 9999. So this is one variation. Next variation is so here you can see that uh, the the statement is infinitely displayed because no update statements inside body of the loop. This is no part of the while loop because of missing of curly brackets. So here you can see that they have given an example. So in this example you can see that I is equal to 0 while I is less than or equal to 10, and you can see that there is a value, the I value is printed. So but in the next statement I value is incremented, but it doesn't have the curly brackets. So this I value will get not be increased, so I value will remain 0 forever. So 0 is less than 10, the condition is true, the value will be printed again and again. The 0 value will be printed again and again, so it will keep on executing. There will not be a stop to this while loop. So next is do while loop. mm, so in the do while loop you can see that the do while loop is an exit control loop. Okay, exit control loop means it will first execute the body of the loop once, and then at the end of execution it will check the condition. So the body of the the condition is evaluated at the bottom of the loop after executing the body of the loop. This means that the body of the loop is executed at least once. At least once. Okay. Even when the condition evaluates false during the first iteration, the body of the this is the syntax. Okay, so here you can see that the body of the loop will be getting executed at least once, which means that Even though the test condition is false for the first time, the body of the loop will be executed, and then only the test is executed. So you can have a situation like this in your programming. So you can use this kind of do while loop. So so this is an example. Okay, so you can see that this is a syntax. This is the syntax of uh, do while loop. So do is the keyword, and they are given the body of the loop after the keyword, and then after completing the body of the loop, you can see that while condition is being tested here. Okay, so this is the flow chart. Next is the flow chart of this while loop. Sorry, do while loop, and you can see that body of the loop is executed only once for the first time, and the test condition is evaluated. If the condition is true, it will go back to the body of the loop. If the condition is false, then it will come back and uh, executes the statement X. So here you can see that this is the example of do while loop. Here is the program to display numbers from 10 to 1 using while loop. So you can see that they are using a do while loop to display numbers in a reverse order from 10 to 1, and you can see that do n is equal to 10, do C out n. Okay, the value of n is printed 10. Now n minus minus, so n minus minus means it will decrement the value, and it will become 9 now, while n is greater than 0. Okay, so yes, the condition is true. Now the value is 9 here, and it will go and do the same again. Okay, so the value of n will be 9, and then you can see that it will decrement again. It will decrement again. So this loop will be executed up to 10 times. Okay, so at the last time n value will become 0. 0 is greater than 0, condition is true, sorry, condition is false, so it will come out of the loop. The last exercise is nested loop. So you can have nested loop means you can have loop inside another loop. Okay, so if you want loop inside another loop, you can create a nested loop, which means a loop which contains another loop inside it. Okay, so here they are given three different types of nested loops: a for loop inside another for loop, a while loop inside another while loop, and do while loop another do while loop. So if you want, you can create any kind of combinations. Okay, you can also create for inside while loop inside for loop. So you can create any kind of combination as you wish, as per your requirements. Okay, so we'll see a small example here. So this is an example. You can see that this example is to display matrix multiplication table using nested nested for loop. So they are going to display the uh, tables, one table, two table, three table, four table, five table, six table, and a nine table, up to nine table, and then they are going to display it in a mm, matrix way. Okay, so first for loop you can see that so they are going to print the title as multiplication table, and you can see that 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 up to 9 they have given slash t in between numbers. Okay, so that means it will print the single line with some tab space in between these numbers. So next is for loop. For loop, you can see that for loop int c is equal to 1. So c is less than or equal to 10 and c plus plus. So inside that they are going to print the value of c here. Mm, so in the next for loop you can see that value of I is been declared. I is equal to 1. I is less than or equal to 10. I plus plus. So I 1 into c. C value is 1. So 1 into 1 is 1. It will be printed. So 1 into 2, sorry, yes, 1 into 2, 1 into 3, 1 into 4. I value will be incremented and C value will be stays constant. So this value will be executed until the I value becomes 10. Uh, 10 is less than or equal to 10 condition is true. Now it will increment, and 11 value will also be incremented, but 11 is not less than 10. The condition will become false, and then it will exit the loop. Okay, so it will now go back to the first loop. C is equal to 1 is there. Now it will increment as C is equal to 2, and it will come back again. So this will be printed in a matrix form by using the spacing slash t. Slash t means it will be printing some space between the outputs. Okay, so you can see the output here. So you can see the output like this. Okay, uh, the output will be like this. You can see the table multiplication tables in all the rows and all the columns. So this jumping statement, which is not included in your syllabus right now, um, you can see that it consists of go to statement, break statement, and continue statement. So go to statement will have the label. So when the system or the compiler sees the label, it will directly uh, go to that particular statement. So it can be either in two types. Go to statement will be at the top and the label will be at the bottom. So it will skip the statement in between and directly it will come down to the label. In the next is syntax 2, you can see that the label will be at the top, and after some statement you can see that this go to statement will be there. So so here it will not check any condition, just seeing the go to statement it will go to that particular uh, label. Okay, so this is one type of jumping statement. Another is break statement. So this will break, it will break the entire loop. So of that particular that particular loop will be break, and it will move on to the next iteration. So next is, you can see that continue statement. So this continue statement will execute from the beginning of the loop. Okay, so if the continuous statement is executed, the rest of the lines after the continuous statement will not be executed, and it will go to the beginning of the loop and do the iteration. Okay, so it has some examples, you can see that. Okay, so with this we'll finish the class today. This chapter is getting over. The next chapter is functions, I think. Okay, that is also a very easy chapter. So functions is a small set of instruction grouped together to form a particular task. Okay, to do some particular task. So we'll see that in this next class. Thank you, students.